Snow White live-action trailer drops. Disaster incoming? Alright folks, there's a brand new trailer for Disney's live-action Snow White remake starring Rachel Zegler. And guess what? It actually looks like Disney is trying to appeal to their original fan base for once in their lives. But hold up, is this trailer just a last-ditch effort before disaster strikes? Let's break it all down, because if there's one thing we know is coming, it's a flood of dislikes. Welcome to That Park Place, Disney's box office nightmare zone. Here's the real headline: Snow White's box office projections look absolutely grim, pun intended. Audience interest? Near zero. This film is shaping up to be a major Disney disaster. According to That Park Place, shout out to Marvin Montanero's report, early industry estimates say Snow White is heading for a $63 to $70 million domestic opening. Some sources are saying maybe $65 million. Yikes. That's low. Now let's compare. Captain America is expected to hit $100 million in 4 days, and they're trying to spin that as a win on a $180 million budget. But get this, there are reports that Disney has already sunk $400 million into making Snow White, and that's before marketing costs. Yep, you heard that right. $400 million Snow White without the Seven Dwarfs.
Place of fairness.
This isn't even Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs anymore. It's just Disney's Snow White. They slapped Walt's name on it, but it's detached from everything he created. Feels weird, doesn't it? Would you watch it? Bash. Real talk. If you weren't working here, would you ever go see this movie? Not a chance. And honestly, I don't blame you. The effects? Meh. The color grading? Bland. The vibe? Just off. But wait, look at the names behind it. Now, to be fair, this should have been a home run. Directed by Mark Webb, The Amazing Spider-Man 2. Written in part by Greta Gerwig, Barbie. Music from Pasek and Paul, The Greatest Showman. Gal Gadot as the Evil Queen. And of course, Rachel Zegler, who, let's be honest, hasn't exactly been box office gold. With that lineup, this movie should be a hit. But let's be real, does anyone actually want to see it? Final thoughts: Disney is banking big on Snow White, but early signs point to an epic flop. Will audiences embrace it, or will this be another chapter in Disney's recent string of disappointments? Let us know what you think in the comments. Disney's Snow White, a massive flop incoming? Alright folks, let's talk about Disney's live-action Snow White remake. Would it
change everything?
Well, only if you
Take
have
him
no
away!
sense. Look, I don't know, maybe, just maybe, this film could surprise us, but let's be real. Audiences have already spoken loud and clear. The last two trailers pulled in over 1 million dislikes. That's not exactly a good sign. Now, some defenders might say, wait a second, Jonas, $63 to $70 million for an opening
Your
weekend?
Majesty.
That's not bad. Cinderella did about the same in 2015. Yeah, that was 10 years ago. Inflation exists, and Cinderella was actually well received. Plus, it had Kenneth Branagh as director, a seasoned filmmaker who knew what he was doing. And let's not forget, Disney didn't have to dump hundreds of millions into reshoots back then. Disney's live-action struggles. Look, when we talk about Disney's live-action remakes, there are a few that actually worked. Cinderella had some charm. The Jungle Book, the Jon Favreau version, was probably the best one they've done. And then there's the older Jungle Book with Jason Scott Lee. Or was it Jason Lee Scott? Wait, one's a Power Ranger and one played Bruce Lee. I always mix them up. Anyway, here's the thing. Disney knows they're in trouble. That's why this latest Snow White trailer is trying so hard to lean into nostalgia. Breaking down the trailer. Disney's nostalgia. Beatty slowed this trailer way down, 25% speed, just to catch all the little tricks they're using to reel us in. And what do we see? A montage of classic title cards: Snow White, Pinocchio, Bambi, Cinderella, Alice, in Wonderland, Sleeping Beauty, 101 Dalmatians, Mary Poppins. It's basically Disney screaming, hey guys, remember all the good movies we made? Yeah, we remember. And we also remember that this isn't that Disney's desperate marketing strategy message. Honestly, this reminds me of the Marvel's trailer, one of the most disingenuous marketing plays I've ever seen. They kept talking about how there will always be new threats like Thanos, as if that movie had anything to do with Infinity War. Disney's trying to spin straw into gold. And folks, this isn't even good straw. Final thoughts. So will Snow White be another Disney disaster? All signs point to yes. But hey, what do you think? Are you giving this one a chance, or is this another live-action remake you're skipping? Let us know in the comments. Disney hiding. Rachel Zegler, Snow White's marketing shift. Alright folks, something very interesting is happening with Disney's Snow White remake. Have you noticed that Rachel Zegler is suddenly disappearing from the trailers? Yeah, you're not imagining it. Let's break this down. Disney is cutting Zegler's screen time, so I went full detective mode and compared two trailers, one from December 3rd, 2024, and the latest one from February 14th, 2025. The December trailer was 2 minutes, 24 seconds long. Rachel Zegler, on screen for 60 seconds, that's 47% of the trailer. The newest trailer is 60 seconds long. And Rachel, just 17 seconds. That's a 50% drop in screen time. Coincidence? I don't think so. Why is Disney hiding their lead? Look, we track this stuff way too closely, probably more than any normal person should. But here's what's clear. Disney is quietly pulling Rachel Zegler out of the spotlight. Even in the thumbnail choices, there's a shift, old trailer, Zegler front and center, new trailer, Seven Dwarfs on a log, no Zegler in sight. That's a big signal. Why? Because Disney's core audience, the casual fans who don't follow Hollywood drama, are starting to take notice. These are the same people who only half listen to entertainment news, but still somehow know there's drama with Blake Lively. Even they're thinking, wait a second, something feels off. Disney is leaning on nostalgia, hard. Now let's talk about what is being pushed in this trailer. Pure nostalgia. They're throwing up classic title cards from Pinocchio, Bambi, Cinderella, Alice in Wonderland, Sleeping, Beauty, all the movies that actually worked. Why? Because
People
Disney
need some
knows this isn't
kindness.
working.
You
They're
know, I
banking on
really
people
don't
seeing those
remember
old
you being
favorites and
this-
getting tricked into thinking, oh yeah, I love those movies. Maybe this one will be good too. Spoiler alert, it won't. Final thoughts, Disney is playing a very desperate game here. They're subtly removing Rachel Zegler from the marketing, leaning hard on nostalgia, and hoping audiences don't notice. But we notice. What do you think? Are they trying to course correct? Or is this just damage control for an inevitable disaster? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Disney's Snow White, the disaster gets worse. All right, folks, this is getting embarrassing for Disney. We've got bad trailers, audience backlash, AI parodies getting more views than the actual film, and now Disney's burying this movie like they're ashamed of it. Let's talk about why Snow White 2025 might be the biggest flop in Disney history. The film they don't want to release. Disney's been delaying this movie for as long as humanly possible. Remember when this was supposed to drop right after the writer's strike? Yeah, they quietly pushed it back and then scrambled to put out an image of the Seven Dwarfs. No confirmation of actual dwarfs until way later. The film's been sitting in limbo, and it's clear why. This thing is a ticking time bomb. At this point, Disney just needs to rip off the Band-Aid, take the loss, and move on. Fans hate it. AI loves it. Now here's where it gets really interesting. The official Snow White trailer, released on December 3rd, 2024, pulled 9.3 million views but racked up over 1 million dislikes. That's brutal. But the real kicker? An AI parody of the trailer, made entirely from hate comments, has over 4 million views. That means the parody is half as popular as the actual movie trailer. And people like it more. At what point does Disney wake up and realize that this isn't just a bad movie, it's damaging the brand itself? Disney's budget problem, and here's another issue. Bigger budgets don't equal better movies. Snow White has been in the works for years, but just like Captain America, Brave New World, more time doesn't mean better quality. I keep saying this. Campbell's rule? Any film over 100 million? The bigger the budget, the worse the movie. Disney's proven this over and over again. Final thoughts. Disney is lost. Disney used to be about great storytelling and timeless animation. Now, they're stuck in nostalgia bait, bad remakes, and movies that their own audience doesn't want. At this point, just release the movie, take the L, and move on. What do you think? Is Snow White 2025 DOA, or does Disney have any hope left? Let me know in the comments. And hey, if you're enjoying this breakdown, hit that subscribe button for more entertainment news, analysis, and rants. See you in the next one!